Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Opinion Discussion. Yeah, that's the best name I can think of, but if you guys saw my previous video where I reached 500 subscribers, I said I kinda want to start a new thing or show similar to Smosh Games Why We're Single, where in that show, they would discuss a certain video game topic and they would talk about their opinions on it, like favorite game scenes or favorite characters or stuff like that. And I said I wanted to give that a try with more than games, with like movies and YouTube and such. And I also said in the video that if you'd comment down a topic, I'd think about it and make a video on it. And someone actually did. From F Dar, he asked most boring games. So apparently he wants me to talk about what the games that I find the most boring, which is very hard because usually games that I find boring I take back and never play again. So I'm going to have to really really think about games that I myself have found boring. But after remembering a bit, I think I've conjured up a list and I'm going to explain them from what I found least boring to most boring. And this entire show is all about my opinion, so this that means don't listen to what I say, follow on what you think you find boring, and this is my opinion, so please don't judge me with what I find boring, because I know there's going to be one opinion that you guys are going to hate, probably. So, anyway, enough talking, and I'll read off the list. The first game I want to talk about that I actually still own is a Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. Now, I still keep this game because it's Pokemon, but I find it least boring because there is some fun stuff in the game. But what I find boring about it is that the battles seemed slow, and you guys are gonna find me a bit hypocritical when I say that I liked Pokemon Battle Revolution. And even though those two games are similar, I think the only excuse I'll give Battle Revolution is that that's the only thing you do in the game and it's kind of fast, so I like that. And then with XD they added a bit of a story mode. They try to make like those portable games, but they put it on a console, and while I say it did kind of work, it's just more slow in my opinion. It's not an awful game, I'll say it's not a bad game, but it's just kind of boring to me. Now with this one, I think you guys are going to get angry. I know a couple of my friends will get angry at this for me, but one game I find boring was Splatoon. Just the first one, Splatoon. Now, usually I don't play a lot of shooting games, though of course I'd have Call of Duty, and that's probably it. Probably there's a game on my phone that involves shooting, but shooting isn't one of my favorite video game genres. So with Splatoon, it tries to be more kid-friendly and give it much more of a Nintendo feel, which I could say they succeeded, though to me it was just fun for a little bit. I think one thing I kind of forgot was the game had a story mode. I had to look up my friend's video to only realize that there is actually a story mode to the game. And for those long-time subscribers, you probably knew that I did a video on Splatoon. Though, yeah, that's all I can say. It's kind of boring, and like I said, I'm pretty sure the sequel is much better, though I wasn't convinced enough to get the sequel, though. Hey, the Splatoon characters are gonna be in the new Smash Brothers. That's cool, right? Probably the most recent game I can think of that I found boring. Like, this was more boring than Splatoon, but I'd say ARMS for the Switch. It was fun for like 2 hours. Seriously, like, it's kind of fun using the controllers to, throw a punch and stuff. That's cool. But that game is difficult. It's difficult. Like, all the enemies are hard to beat sometimes, and after just doing that, and honestly, I feel like it's more fun when you have friends over, but that's really about it. It's just boring. Like, there's not much I can say about ARMS, but I did kind of like doing the story mode, and it kind of reminded me of Street Fighter, but still just very boring. All I just have to say is I liked the robot cop and the dog. That's literally all I can say about it. Now, for probably the most boring game I can think of, like, this game, like, this is probably one of the only games I've officially said, I do not like this game. And a game that really changed me. And that game is Lego Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars. Now, you guys are gonna find it weird, but I love Lego games. I've had for years. I still even play some of them if I'm interested. Though, when I got Lego Star Wars 3 at Blockbuster when that was a thing, I was shocked at how boring it was. Like, if I remember it, there wasn't a lot of. Because usually with Lego, you run around, build stuff, solve puzzles, sometimes there's a boss fight, and then, like, free roam and such, and you know, all that stuff. But they try to add, like, this strategy game thing, and it was so complicated that once I started it, I didn't even want to finish the game before I had to return it. I guess they're just trying to do something different, which I wouldn't mind, but it's just the choice they made was super boring. I'm shocked because the other Star Wars games, and especially Complete Saga, were really good. And honestly, I don't mind Lego Star Wars The Clone Wars being turned into a Lego game. It sounds interesting, but instead it was just so boring. Guess if I watched the show, I would have liked it more. I don't know. It was ah. So yeah, that's all I can say, and thanks for watching, and like I said, you can comment here if there's a certain topic you want me to talk about involving video games, movies, YouTube, all that stuff, and I can give out my opinion. And like I said, I'm doing this because it's easier to make than a top 10 or a top 5. Like, I'll save topics to like make top 10s or top 5s to put more effort into. These are just kind of the fast ones that I kind of like to talk about or say, and then they come out fast and they're not all that big, but I can still do them. And so yeah, so if you think there's a topic I should give my opinion about, comment below and I'll consider it and then maybe even do it. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye bye.